Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World. Welcome to 5 things we learned from Cardiff City 2, Swindon Town 1 at the Cardiff City Stadium in the Carabao Cup. Welcome back to the channel. Last night under the lights in the Carabao Cup, Cardiff edged past Swindon with a 2-1 victory. And, while getting through is the aim of the game. There's more beneath the surface, I think, and today we're going to break it all down. 5 key takeaways from the match, the tactical tweaks, the coaching nous, defensive frailties, and yes, maybe we're finally a set-piece threat, but buckle up. We're going to have a little dive into the ups and downs of Cardiff City as is. Let's go. Number 1, the setup, the central midfield. It's really interesting. So first up, I see in Cardiff operate effectively with a single pivot and 2 really attack-minded number 8s is refreshing from what we've seen under Buller and Risa last year. It's really exciting to see. They play with the high wingers, stretching the pitch, chalk on their boots, and Colwell and Turnbull are very high up the field, and it gives us serious dynamism. It gives us a lot of movement off the ball, but it does come with a bit of a caveat. We are not able to create as many central overloads. So when both those number 8s are upfield, it leaves the midfield a bit light. And if the opposition can find a way to stop those switch balls, those diagonals, we are very vulnerable immediately. And, not just the transition, I just mean we're vulnerable because we can't build up through the middle. Everything's then becomes like on the edge of the box. And yes, we have a lot of off the ball movement, which we didn't have before. And I can see the patterns of play where they're trying to, like Robinson will drop in and they'll have third man runs. They are building. But unfortunately, I think in last night's case, Robinson's hasn't quite got the skill set for it. And it didn't quite come off in some fashions. But you can see what they're trying to build. It just worries me that we need to be able to create chances other than just switching it to the winger. I do see patterns, I see rotations, they're clearly well drilled, something which I think is encouraging. I think they'll get better as a team and individually. The more they play it, the more they understand it. But it's something they need to be aware of for sure. But there is a cohesion forming, and I've got zero doubt that they're going to get better as the season goes. However, one of the, because a couple of these are not positives, so let's stick with the positives a minute. Number 2, with Brian Barry Murphy's sideline coaching, and his coaching generally, I love watching it, right? Because early in the game, 5-10 minutes into the game, shouting at Turnbull to break lines and support Ashford, support Pacquiao. It's not just about tactics, it's about intent. He didn't want Turnbull to just drift through the game like he often does. He told him, get involved, get him, play, and it really worked. I thought Turnbull had a decent game. And as soon as we shift the ball into a 3-on-3, you can hear him visibly screaming, play, play, play. And then all of a sudden, we're playing off one touch. And it's one touch. Those one-touch passes, that's what cracks open defenses. That kind of fast interchanges is what opens up defenses. That will become our DNA under BBM. But he's also got to get the backing in the transfer window, because I don't think we've got all the personnel that we need to do it. We certainly don't have the depth. However, something which is very clear, as soon as we conceded that goal through a mistake, everybody wants to take 4, 5, 6 touches because they want to be sure. They don't want to make a mistake. They want to be sure with the pass. Whereas before that, everything was off 2, 3 touches. And this is the thing. When we move the ball quickly, we look confident, we look good. When we lose that bit of confidence and that bit of, they need that bit of security, is when the mistakes begin to happen for me. And number 3, centre-back concerns, right? We need solutions at centre-back, fast. Chambers on the ball, real good, generally. He drives forward into the space when it's there. He's good at initiating the build-up. He's generally a good passer of the ball. But defensively, he is a problem. Now, especially in the second half yesterday, he got caught. He's got to take the blame for the goal. One, I don't know why he's so much deeper than everyone else, playing everybody onside. Well, not onside, but like he's so much deeper. Then he kind of slips and loses the ball. But because he's so deep, everyone else is beyond him. They score, and then after they score, we just give them the initiative by continuing to play in our own box. They had the momentum. They had a bit of a lift. And we did switch a bit later to go in a bit more direct and using Ruben Colwell's height to get those little flick-ons. And just take their press out of it. Just for a few minutes. And then just let us play. And as the captain, he's got to be part of that decision-making. He's got to have the football IQ to go, right, it's 2-1. They've got a lift. They're going to be really, really at it for the next few minutes. They're going to be pressing everything. So let's be a little bit more direct, play into the channels, play into the people, the strikers, the wingers, get those direct balls being a bit quicker, whatever. It's frustrating to see because he is struggling defensively. And look, I will say, they're number 10. Swindon's number 10 last night was a fucking unit, a real unit. And he was difficult to deal with. Chambers struggled with him. Fish, I thought, did a little bit better with him. I thought Fish did quite well physically. He threw himself about and did that sort of, won some headers, didn't give that guy any room. And he threw in some nice diagonals as well, Will Fish. Again, like long passing, not a problem. He's got that old school defender about him. But when he's under a high press, he gets pinned and he does look like he could lose that ball. With Darlin potentially off, we need 2 new centre-backs, I think. We needed 1 anyway, and I think now we need 2. Because otherwise, we're going through the rigours of League One with a Dylan Lawler who needs to be dripped in and out, which he has been so far. A Callum Chambers who, as a centre-back, just doesn't look up to it. And a Will Fish who's 21 himself, a bit inconsistent, etc. Like, we needed 1, now we need 2 if Darlin goes. I know we've signed Cater and got De Bono and people in the 21s, but I can't imagine that they're thinking of bringing them. We signed O'Brien. Like, I can't imagine we're thinking of bringing them in. Who knows? But it's a non-negotiable. We've got to back the manager because I think from a coaching point of view, you can see the difference he's making on this team. But this team was bottom of the championship for a reason. Yes, we look better. We look more coached. You're starting to see the likes of Ruben Colwell and others doing really well. But we've also got the same players last year who weren't good enough. And they still don't look good enough. However, ultimately, this is why these players are playing in League One, because they might be good on the ball, but they haven't got the consistency or they haven't got the physicality. Like, there's holes in their game. That's why they're in League One and not in the Championship or the Premier League. The manager's got to address it, and he's got to address it fast. The fullbacks, mixed bag for fullbacks, I've got to say. Kipakiao was great going forward. I thought he was really dangerous, really good. And I thought he did well in some difficult positions because quite often he was left 2 or 3 against 1. We have to address that from set pieces, not leaving him as the sole man because, as we saw, he gets physically beaten. And luckily he had the recovery pace to get himself out of it. But that's, against better teams, you're going to get punished. Very good going forward, always a threat, good running, nice interchanging. Defensively, they targeted him a little bit. They tried to isolate the big lad against him, which we did a decent job of trying to stop. Keane Ashford did support him a little bit in the second half, as did Tanner and the midfield. Kipakio is young, he's still learning, but I think the first 3 games of the season, he's been all right. I thought last night was okay. He's got to be a little bit more careful with the ball sometimes. A couple of times he just plays it into a space where he thinks his players are going to be and they're not, and then we're under pressure. But that'll come. He's young. I don't mind it. I think he's doing a real good job. Then you got Joel Bagan, normally 6.5, 7 out of 10 each week. Pretty good. But you know what? Last night I thought he was very, very good. Defensively, he was alert. He really handled that number 10 when he tried to drift onto him at the back post. He offered line-breaking runs. He offered great passing. Probably should have scored 2. He had the header, which got saved, and we scored the rebound. But he should have scored in the second half as well. But like the man, he needs competition. As much as that was a great, really good performance, solid, and I think I was really encouraged by it because you started to see the attacking options that he can bring rather than just inverting. But God, he needs competition. Like, he cannot be expected to play like 60 games this season, and he needs the competition. He's an automatic starter is never a good thing. And number 5, we have finally a set piece threat. And after doing absolute jack shit over the old set pieces last year, we are now a real danger, which is ironic considering how bad our crossing was the other week against Port Vale, or the other day. And we put in some absolutely fabulous corners last night throughout the game. There was one, I think, which was overhit, but throughout, the delivery was excellent. We looked a threat. You got a stunning Ruben Colwell free kick. And the delivery from the wide areas was much, much better. By the way, Ruben Colwell's off-the-ball sprinting and pressing last night is a joy to behold. And I'm sure on TV it doesn't pick it up sometimes. This guy is covering 15, 20 yards, full-out sprint, 100 times a game, I reckon. He is, honestly, his work rate is unbelievable. And Brian Barry Murphy has definitely got a different gear out of him. And I think you're seeing that. It will do him the world of good to score another free kick. Why he hasn't been on free kicks before now, who knows? But if this is the level of delivery and the delivery that we're capable of both from wide areas and set pieces, we've got to do it when Yusuf Salic is on the pitch. Set pieces, they win you cup ties. They win you 3 points. We've seen that already this season. So we've got to keep that going and we've got to make it count. But yeah, look, let's just quickly go through them because I flew through them a bit quicker than normal. Number 1, the attack-minded number 8. Refreshing but good, but we've got to be aware that we need to build through the middle as well. BBM's coaching on the touchline, etc. Exceptional. Centre-back vulnerabilities, get us some centre-backs. Fullbacks, mixed bag. Kepakio's promise. Joel Bagan stood out. He also needs to have competition. And then finally, we're a set-piece weapon. I love that. I want to say thanks to everyone who said hello last night. It is proper humbling, but I also I love it. Like, it's really great, and it's yeah. Shout out to that, and shout out to the 100% record that Cardiff City have got at home, unbeaten this season. Rotherham Saturday will be interesting, but let's dive into some of this stuff in a minute. So let's talk about those midfield transitions. That single pivot we saw with Ryan Wintle, right? He had to be very disciplined. With Colwell and Turnbull so high up, defence needed to be compressed swiftly in those seconds, especially when you lose the ball. And I thought Ryan Wintle did a lot of good work off the ball last night. On the ball, I'd like to see him being a bit more progressive, but his defensive work was decent. He was where he needed to be. I don't mind that. I liked it. Swindon did try and replicate what Port Vale had done the other day with the physical press, but leaving a bit on it. But we dealt with it much better this time. The press inside of it, we encouraged them. But I guess that's what we're going to do. We played around in our own box too much for my liking. We just needed to just move it forward a bit more direct for a few minutes. Because then we came back into it and we got hold of the ball better, and then it was kind of all right. But for that sort of 10-minute spell after the goal from Swindon, we just, that was stressful. I thought David Turnbull had a real good game. Good to see Isaac Davis getting an hour. I know people were a bit mixed on his performance, but I thought he looked a threat. Should have had a load of fouls in the first half. Ruben Colwell's pressing, excellent. I noticed that Alex Robertson seems to have had his stitches out when I saw him. So that's encouraging. And Perry and G, I'm hoping, is not far off as well. Turnbull's work rate was through the roof. I got to say, he's pressing, linking the midfield, a nice solid thing, and he's got to build on that because we've got to see more from him. Isaac, as I say, good to get some minutes in those legs because I think he can be a real weapon for us. I'd love to see him be the alternatives to Salic, though. I think he would offer a lot more than Callum Robinson, if I'm honest. But there we go. Ruben Colwell's pressing, headers, set pieces. I thought man of the match was either Ruben or Bagan for me. And like I said, seeing Alex Robertson get those stitches, or seemingly have those stitches out, is encouraging. But look, right, let's be reality. Let's talk reality. There's a lot of positives from yesterday. There's some glaring gaps. We've got the same issues that we've had. We need the board to back the manager. The manager is doing a very good job of coaching the individuals and this team. But he needs reinforcements. He needs at least one centre-back. He needs a left-back. He needs a winger. I would argue we need a central midfielder, but we need quality bodies. And yeah, look, they've got to do it. They have to make it happen. They have to find the cash. But there you have it. That was 5 lessons, or 5 things we've learned from that 2-1 victory. It was far more nuanced than the scoreline suggests. Swindon had some big chances, but a lot of them, if not all of them, were created by our own mistakes. We have to improve that, because against better sides we'll be punished. But this Cardiff side is growing. Moments of decent, play, cohesion is there. We're going to get better as the season goes. But to go further in a long League One season, we need steel, experience. We need depth in this squad. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please do hit that like button, subscribe, drop your thoughts below. Did Callum Chambers cost us? Who was your man of the match? Let's keep the chat rolling. All opinions welcome, as long as you're not novel about it. Thanks again to everyone who said hi to me last night. It's wicked. I always, if you want a picture and all that sort of stuff, I don't know why you would, but the people who do, I'm always happy to do that. I appreciate it so much. Like I said, it's very, very humbling. I will see you tomorrow, where we'll have the takeover video is coming out Thursday lunchtime, and me and Evan are live on Thursday night. We'll have the preview Friday lunchtime, and Aaron and Rob are live Friday night. I might drop a video on Jesper Darland as well, somewhere in between. So there's loads of content coming. Tonight is Matt and Reese from the 1927 Club, where they will give you your thoughts. I've got a feeling that they are not going to be happy with Callum Chambers, so it might not be one for him to watch. But anyway, as always, I appreciate you all. Keep the faith, my friends. It's only the beginning. 100% record at home, unbeaten this season. Now it's time for the board to put up or shut up. Nice one.